move your life forward in the most positive way using astrology? Then let's talk about the astrological patterns for October 2012. The month begins with Venus, the social planet, moving into Virgo, and Mercury and Saturn moving into Scorpio on the 5th. We will probably notice a decided and palpable shift of energy to more serious problem-solving mode. This is where detailed analysis meets resourcefulness, and we're going to want to start moving away from idealism and into how do we solve the problems at hand. This is a very powerful time, and isn't it interesting? The very day that Venus moves into Virgo, we have the very first presidential debate. On that day, we will also have Mars conjunct the North Node in Scorpio. This is going to be a fiery debate, serious and focused on how do we make the changes we need to instead of just the platitudes we often hear in politics. Okay, so now let's get back to Saturn moving into Scorpio because this is very important. Saturn stays in one sign for 2.5 years. So first, if you have planets in the sign Scorpio, you're going to get a little visit from this drill sergeant energy, Saturn. Now, Saturn likes to teach through the challenge model, and often we get the opportunity to move forward by learning about determination and focus and not giving up. But while Saturn is in Scorpio, whether you have planets in this sign or not, we all have the opportunity to engage the transformational energy of this incredible death and rebirth sign, Scorpio. So you'll probably be feeling very deep feelings coming to the surface and engaging them. Not just staying in the head and thinking about things, but really making the transformation that's important because you feel it from the heart. This is the power of Saturn in Scorpio. We also have Mars, the planet of action, moving into the fiery sign Sagittarius on the 6th of October, right after Mercury and Saturn move into Scorpio. Mars shows us how we can take action as it transits a sign. Sagittarius can be playful and light and fun and humorous, but it can also slip over into having very strong opinions, even sometimes a righteous indignation. So we all need to be mindful about how we use this fiery and dynamic energy of Sagittarius. Mid-month, we have the new moon in Libra on the 15th. I always call this the relationship moon because this is when we focus on our connections with other people and moving our relationships forward. I'll be covering more about that in my next new moon video. And then on the 29th of the month, we have the full moon in Taurus. That same day, we will have Mercury moving into Sagittarius, and just a day before, Venus will have moved into Libra. This full moon is great for manifesting goals, bringing them into the earth plane, bringing them into form. Taurus is said to be the sign where the moon is exalted, meaning the moon loves to be in this sign. It functions very well. And there is a certain level of grace with Venus in Libra and incredible positivity and optimism with Mercury in Sagittarius. And so to summarize for the month of October, we have a lot of activity in the early part of the month with many planets changing signs. With Saturn going into Scorpio, along with the other planets changing signs, we are going to see that problem-solving mode. Less idealism and more, how do I make the change? And then when we have the full moon at the end of the month in Taurus, the energy softens a little bit. The most intensity will be in the first part of the month, going until about mid-month. End of the month, we have a softening and we have a release, and a lot starts to manifest. So now, please pay attention because in November, I'm going to be covering in the next video the special astrology happening at the election. This is big stuff. We have Mercury going retrograde exactly on the day of the election. We're going to see some really interesting energy. Thank you. I'm Kathy Rose.